morning, everybody. I'm Bill Kramer, Director and President of the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. Thank you so much for being with us today. We're so excited. Today, we culminate a journey that was begun 92 years ago by visionary filmmakers who understood that their new art form should be preserved, celebrated, and shared. Thanks to a major collaborative endeavor over the past decade, their vision is now a reality. Today, we proudly dedicate the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. But before we start, it's fitting and appropriate that we first observe another ceremony. The land this museum rests on was first inhabited by the Tongva people more than 2,500 years ago. The Tongva people have continued to live here to this day, and the Academy Museum is so grateful for its relationship with their community. And I'm so honored to introduce Tongva spiritual leader Jimmy Castillo and Tongva elder Virginia Carmelo, who will begin today's event with a blessing and a land acknowledgement.
Good morning, and thank you, everyone, for being here. I want to thank the Academy, the Museum Academy, for acknowledging my people. You honor my people. You honor me by allowing us to come up here and help dedicate this beautiful museum. And I should also let you know that I'm accompanied by my wife, Jeanette, from the Navajo Nation, the Dene Nation. So I know we have an ASL interpreter here. I'm going to speak a little bit in my language, but I'll interpret for myself. And I'm also going to pray with a traditional song to welcome the ancestors to this beautiful museum. I just happened to recognize Mr. Garcetti over there. You may be the mayor, but we're the caretakers of this land. Thank you. That helped me relax myself a little bit. Okay. Haku, 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 haku. Hakua mi wai chini chini, hakua mi wai wia. Hakua mi wai na tawase, hakua mushe, sev la lemko pachem. Na wile leshki manishu yahamim. Oh, wea michi wea, yaka wea, yaka wea, yaka wea. Creator, grandfather, great mystery, great spirit, we come to you today in this very humble and very special way to help dedicate the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. We ask creators, we burn the sacred medicine, the sage, that as people enter this museum, that they come in a good way, and whatever negativity they may have picked up during their daily walk of life, we ask that it is left outside to keep this museum in this very good way. We ask that you honor the prayer request of everybody here in this circle. We ask that the spirits of this land watch over each one of you and protect you as you're on the land of the Tongva people. At this time, I'd like to pray with this song. This song is the ancestor song. This is to welcome the ancestors of this land to be here with us and all of you. Tai hunu kane shun shun, tai hunu kane shun shun, na ha kwane shun na ha kwahe, na ha kwane shun na ha kwahe. Tai hunu kane shun shun, tai hunu kane shun shun, na ha kwane shun na ha kwahe. Aha kwane shuna kwahe, tai hunu kane shune shun, tai hunu kane shune shun, aha kwane shuna kwahe, aha kwane shuna kwahe. Yamakuri, 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 ha Yamakuri, 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 Yamakuri. Yamakuri, 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 Creator, Grandfather, Great Mystery, we thank you and thank the staff of this museum for honoring my people, the Tongva, and for honoring me by asking me to be here in this opening day of the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. And we ask the spirits that they continue to be here to watch over this museum and its staff, as well as the people who come to visit, that they come in a good way, and that they enter in a way that they are protected. And as they leave, that they're able to go back to where they came from in a very safe way, in a very safe manner. Aho, to all my relatives. Thank you, staff. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Garcetti. And congratulations to you on your new assignment. You're going to do well.
Thank you very much, our elder Jimmy Castillo. I'm so happy to see him here today. I haven't seen him during the pandemic, so it's a wonderful reunion and giving respect to our elders. Meiha, eyo eham. Hello, friends. I am honored to be here to acknowledge our land and our ancestors. Their presence here as the original inhabitants, the heirs, and the caretakers of our traditional ancestral tribal lands has been since time immemorial. Importantly, and historically, these lands have never been ceded. We are known today by several names, more commonly as the Tongva, pronounced Tongva, as my ancestors before me would have said it. It conveys the meaning of people of the earth. Our Tongva ancestors thrived in a rich and dynamic culture with a network of nearly 100 known villages and an economic trading system that interacted with all of Southern California and beyond. Today, this new Academy Museum of Motion Pictures lies within the neighboring villages of Yanga and Maunga. Allow me to give you an accurate description of Tovangar, our Tongva tribal ancestral lands. It covers the entire Los Angeles basin and the 4 southern Channel Islands. We identify this today as the greater part of Los Angeles and Orange counties, and parts of Riverside and San Bernardino counties. Our lands were defined by natural geographical borders. In the north, we are bordered by the Santa Susana Mountains. The entire San Fernando Valley was home to many of our Tongva villages, such as Topanga, Cahuenga, and Pacoima. You may recognize these as Topanga, Cahuenga, and Pacoima. Towards the east, we have the San Gabriel Mountains, which we call Ha'i. Some villages are Holomokna, Ashuksanga, all the way to Huruvnga. You may recognize these as Red Box, or Mount Wilson, Azusa, and Jurupa. To the south, we have the natural features and boundaries of today's San Joaquin Hills, Santiago Canyon, and to Aliso Creek. I come to you today from Hutukna, which you know as Anaheim. On the west, we have our 4 beautiful islands. The largest we call Pimu, and you know it as Catalina Island. We are proud that Tovangar is and has always been a flourishing center of abundance and creativity. It is fitting that in this place of abundance and creativity, it would give birth to the motion picture industry. With that, we join you today in celebrating and welcome this prestigious historical institution. Awesh koneha taibe hunuka tehov ko'eha. Thank you, and may it be well.
Thank you, Jimmy and Virginia. That was beautiful. And now I'm so thrilled to be here today with some people who have been so instrumental to this achievement. The CEO of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, Dawn Hudson, is here with us today. Woo! David Rubin, president of the Academy. The chair of the Museum's Inclusion Advisory Committee, FET Brown. Woo! Sitting next to Academy Museum Board Chair Ted Sarandos. Yes. Woo! We're also so fortunate to be joined by California Film Commission Executive Director Colleen Bell. Thank you, Colleen. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti. Thank you, Eric. District 4 City Council Member Nithya Raman. And on behalf of all of my colleagues, I thank you and all of the public officials who have supported the museum's incarnation and creation. And you've recognized its importance to our city, to everyone who loves movies across the nation and the world. Why create a museum wholly devoted to the movies? The answer lies in the very nature of filmmaking. Film is a medium that aspires to record the entire world and then go beyond that ambition to create new worlds. No other medium is so intensely collaborative, so all-encompassing, and so universal in its appeal. Movies draw upon many different art forms to create a uniquely immersive and memorable experience. In the words of the great Akira Kurosawa, filmmaking is an art in which painting and literature, theater and music come together. But a film is still a film. It's a singular creation with universal appeal. The Academy Museum honors this magical quality, and we strive to be the world's premier museum dedicated to the art and science of the movies. Visitors will have an unprecedented opportunity to explore every facet of movie making and to directly connect with the movies that have left an indelible stamp on their own lives. We have a glorious campus in which all of this will take place, and we're forever indebted to the brilliant architect Renzo Piano, who understands that film and architecture are both arts of light and shadow. His design unfolds like a film, moving you from the clear, bright light of the street into the galleries, and then across the light of the bridges into the David Geffen Theater and our rooftop terrace. Our mission, as we welcome visitors through the doors and virtually, is to tell the stories of the movies through diverse and engaging voices. Our exhibitions and programs are immersive, dynamic, and global in outlook, and they're grounded in the Academy's exceptional collections and the expertise of our amazing Academy members. Embracing diversity and inclusion is a guiding principle of our entire enterprise. And so we're grateful for the counsel of our Inclusion Advisory Committee, a group of Academy members who have helped us create a museum experience that is diverse, inclusive, and accessible. And we've benefited from the expertise of the branches of the Academy through our branch task forces, and they've helped to ensure that the museum reflects the many crafts and roles in filmmaking. We hope people see career pathways here. We hope they're inspired by the work of film artists, from Foley artists to cinematographers, to location managers to costume designers. We're also guided by a commitment to educate, inspire, and illuminate. Where there is controversy, we will explore it and not shy away from it. And it's no coincidence that the museum is here in Los Angeles. After all, this is the movie capital of the world. This is where the motion picture industry grew in scope and importance, and where it continues to thrive. This special museum was built through the efforts of an entire community, and there are so many people to acknowledge. I'll begin with a heartfelt thank you to the amazingly talented staff of the museum who have worked so brilliantly and tirelessly to get us to this day. We thank the Board of Governors of the Motion Picture Academy and the trustees of our museum. We salute Renzo Piano and Gensler, our exhibition designers, Y Architects, led by Kulapat Yantrasas, our building conservation experts at John Fidler Preservation Technology, and Matt Construction. I want to extend a special thanks to our Chief Operating Officer, Brendan Cannell Jr., for his expert management of this project, and for organizing our inaugural exhibitions. We thank our amazing curatorial team, now led by the wonderful Jacqueline Stort, our Chief Artistic and Programming Officer. They've created a very special core exhibition, Stories of Cinema. And we thank all of the film artists who have collaborated with us in designing the galleries you will see in Stories of Cinema, including Spike Lee, Hildur Guðnadóttir, Pedro Almodóvar, and Ben Burt. We also have an exceptional retrospective of the work of Hayao Miyazaki, which is our inaugural temporary exhibition. That's been a collaboration between our curatorial team and the team at Studio Ghibli, and it's designed by our own exhibition design and planning teams who did a remarkable job. We are endlessly grateful to the leaders of our Capital campaign, chaired by Bob Iger and co-chaired by Annette Bening and Tom Hanks, for their dedication, hard work, and persuasiveness. We're so grateful to Cheryl and Haim Saban for naming the Saban Building, to the David Geffen Foundation for naming the theater that you're sitting under, the David Geffen Theater, to Rolex, the founding supporter and official watch of the Academy Museum, to the family of Ray Dolby for naming the Dolby Family Terrace, and to Dolby Labs for being the official AV sponsor of our theaters and many of our galleries, to Marilyn and Jeffrey Katzenberg for naming the beautiful temporary gallery that bears their name, for the Hobson Lucas Family Foundation's incredible gift of free admission to all visitors aged 17 and younger. That was made in honor of Academy Museum honorary trustee Sid Ganis, to Steven Spielberg for naming the Spielberg Family Gallery, to the Walt Disney Company, which gave its name to this wonderful Walt Disney Company Piazza, to the Dahlia and Wanda Group for naming the Wanda Gallery, Bloomberg Philanthropies for supporting our digital engagement platform, including our brand new app. And I want to stop the scroll for 1 second to Ted and Nicole, to Oprah, to Tyler Perry, to John Perenchio, to Patrick Soon-Shion for helping us name our grand lobby in honor of Sidney Poitier. Huge. Everyone who visits the museum will walk through that amazing tribute to Mr. Poitier. And to so many more of you, please let's have a round of applause for everyone who has helped to get us to this place. Today, as we officially open the Academy Museum, we dedicate it to the people of Los Angeles, to the global community of filmmakers, and above all, to movie lovers everywhere. I'm so pleased to call up to the podium someone whose commitment to this project is unmatched. Since its inception, she has been a tireless advocate at every stage, driving it forward and propelling it to completion. Everyone, please welcome CEO of the Academy, Dawn Hudson. We're doing COVID wipe downs in case you know what's going on.
Thank you, Bill, for that warm introduction. Thank you for your partnership throughout this crazy adventure we've been on. And I also wanted to thank Michael Govan, who I see over here. He's been a partner to us with his own expertise and the support of LACMA throughout. And thank you to our Tongva elder for that beautiful blessing that we are now in this sacred space together. So on behalf of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, I welcome you to a dream come true. Practically the first thing, thank you, the first thing the founders of the Academy did after they created the Oscars in 1929 was to propose building a movie museum in Los Angeles. Isn't that amazing? The Oscars honor individual achievements in filmmaking, year by year, one night a year. But an Academy Museum would honor the art of film 365 days a year for all time. That was what the founders dared to imagine a century ago. And this vision was still in the air when I came to work at the Academy 10 years ago. And the Board of Governors knew that the time to act had come. We understood that only the Academy could create a museum of this scope and vitality here in the movie capital of the world. It only took 92 years. And for some of us, it definitely felt like 92 years. But I will never forget the day this vision took hold. We had gone to meet the great Renzo Piano to hear his thoughts about a museum about movies. We were enthralled by his vision and his eloquence. We were terrified by his vision and his eloquence. I mean, look at this. We are here under 13,000 tons of concrete and steel. Renzo's design begins with a... You don't want to think about that too long, do you? Renzo's design begins with a 1939 streamlined modern building from LA's past, and extends it physically and conceptually into the sphere above us that belongs to the present and the future, what Renzo calls a soap bubble about to take flight. And housed in this levitating soap bubble is as Bill said, the 1,000-seat David Geffen Theater, where you sit in a darkened room, let the curtains rise, and you let yourself enter a dream and be carried away. This amazing museum, which we are about to declare open, if I don't talk too long, has been constructed, that was a joke, I'm not going to talk too long, has been constructed around much more than concrete and steel and dreams. It's built around the vast and still growing Academy collections, the largest film-related collections in the world. It is supported by the deep knowledge of every aspect of movie making, represented by all of our members from 17 branches of the Academy, and from artists and writers to visual effects artists, and I know it's amazing, and costume designers. And at its foundation is the abiding love of movies shared by people around the world. We recognize with gratitude and humility that the Academy Museum represents something much greater than ourselves. This is the museum of filmmakers everywhere, for audiences everywhere, now and into the future. It is my pleasure to introduce one of the world's greatest casting directors, the president of the Academy, and the head of the Board of Governors, with whom I have the immense pleasure of serving. Please welcome David Rubin.
Thank you, Dawn, for that generous introduction, and for everything that you've done to make this museum a reality. Good morning, everyone. As I look around this magnificent place that we've all helped create, I'm thinking about what it means to have built a museum to showcase the arts and sciences of film. I'd love for you to understand what visionaries Douglas Fairbanks and the very first Academy governors were almost a century ago, when they dreamed of establishing a museum of motion pictures. It's probably best illustrated by a vintage photograph taken in the Paris apartment of Henri Langlois, who was the celebrated founder of the Cinémathèque Française. It shows his bathtub, which was filled to overflowing with cans of 35mm films. That's what preserving film history used to mean. I'm proud to say that the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences is among the institutions that have changed things for the better. We've done it in the Academy Film Archive and in the Margaret Herrick Library. We've done it through our educational programs, our fellowships, our grants, and our awards. And now, we've done it by giving Los Angeles and the world this spectacular new home for the movies. We've made our dream a reality, and we want to welcome absolutely everyone to share in its treasures and to delight in the celebration of motion pictures. And they agree. It's my great pleasure to introduce a member of the Academy who has contributed enormously to that goal. She's a distinguished producer. She's the CEO of Game Changer Films, a game changer herself. She is the chair of the Academy Museum's Inclusion Advisory Committee. Please welcome Effie T. Brown.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, David. That was a very classy introduction. Thank you. This is great. This is a really great day for Los Angeles. It's a great day for movie lovers, and it's an especially great day for our film community. We always knew that our community was broader in outlook, it was rich in experience, and varied in culture, more so than what the standard histories have told us. And you can see and hear and feel this in the Academy Museum behind me. Here is a museum with the entire weight of the Academy behind it. It embraces and champions the diversity of artists we have always known has been present then and now. And I'm not gonna lie, we had to go through some really tricky and triggering conversations over the years to get here. I don't know if you know this, but getting a bunch of artists in a room together, we have a lot of opinions and feelings. But we were met with the same passion and commitment to inclusion and diversity by Bill Kramer and the entire curatorial staff. It was awesome. We were all, all of us were trying to figure out how to converge on the same thing. And honestly, I gotta tell you, I think we did it. I mean, from our mea culpa text, which acknowledges and contextualizes when the industry fell short of her promise, to championing those who made a way when there was no way, like Oscar Michaud, to those who paved a way within the system for those to come behind, like Hattie McDaniel and her missing Oscar, to those who worked within the system and out, like Bruce Lee. It's all right there and more. And if you think something is missing, just wait. Because we have film programs and series and panels and rotating exhibitions. This museum is meant to evolve. And that's what we mean when we say that this is truly a museum for everybody. And with respect, with empathy, the greatest of joy and love in my heart, welcome. Welcome to the Academy Museum. And it is now my absolute pleasure to introduce someone who does so much to keep our industry moving forward, the Executive Director of the California Film Commission, Colleen Bell. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you, Effie. I'm here to greet you on behalf of Governor Gavin Newsom and the great state of California to celebrate this important milestone for Los Angeles and the entire state. We know what film and television production means to the economy of California. More than 700,000 jobs, almost $70 billion a year in wages, and that is only the beginning of the impact. The film industry is a society in itself, a living network of relationships among millions of Californians. The movies, well, they link people through guilds and unions, trade associations, and government agencies, production companies, and extraordinary nonprofit organizations like the Motion Picture Academy. And then there's the larger meaning of all of this. The movies as an image, a spirit, a legacy, a reputation. Here in California, we know that people around the nation and the world think of our state as the home of movies, and with all that that implies. Now, we have a triumphant new museum that encompasses the movies as an industry, a society, an artistic source of meaning and identity. The Academy Museum is a destination where visitors, not only across our state, but from around the world, will find inspiration and connection with each other. I congratulate the Academy leadership and the staff of the museum's donors and collaborators and partners, and the people of Los Angeles and California on opening this premier institution for the art of film. The Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. Congratulations. And now it is time for us to zoom in from the state of California to the city of Los Angeles. And it is my distinct honor to introduce our terrific mayor, Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti.
Good morning. Buenos dias. Thank you to Jimmy and Virginia for starting us where we need to start. So much of our history is about erasing narrative, when it is the job of all of us and this museum to resurrect narrative, to preserve narrative, to stitch together narrative. What distinguishes human beings from anybody else is our ability to narrate over time and geography, to tell stories. Don't worry about the speech up there. It's going like this because I'm saying things that aren't in this speech. But when I think through being here in this place, in this moment, this is time for us to write our chapter, the collective chapter of a city, in the geographic epicenter of the city. Even before the Tongva were here, think about the mastodons, the saber-toothed cats, the nature that met right here, one of the most significant places in the world. You can see excavation footsteps away from here. You can feel all around you. I'm getting a thumbs up for the Natural History Museum. You can feel all around you that this is, even though downtown is the center of LA, let's face it, this intersection is the middle of Los Angeles. A subway and a network that we are building to bring people to this center, where culture collides with real people. Because Hollywood isn't just a place, it's an idea. You can be lucky enough to be from here. You can be lucky enough to visit here. But for the billions of people who have never set foot here, they know us, and they know this place. And they know our medium, and they know their stories because their stories have been told here. And just as the Tongva are the caretakers of this land, Angelenos are the caretakers of this medium of film. That is our mission. That is our call here today. The first film to win the Academy Award for Best Picture in 1929 was Wings. Boom. And I can tell you, in the City of Angels, our angels' wings are aflutter. And I'm so proud to be here to officially open the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures, something I've worked on for almost my entire elected life as a council member when it was going to be on Vine Street. Now here, 100 years, it's nothing. It goes by like that. And since I was here for the groundbreaking in 2017, the city has worked closely with the Academy Museum to ensure it maximizes its impact, creating jobs, supporting tourism, paying homage to the industry that helped define who we are, our identity as the creative capital of the world. And let me pause and thank our neighborhood council members, every city department and staff member who worked hard on this, from the fire department to the planning department to the building and safety and transportation and engineering bureaus. Let's give them a round of applause because they are the quiet heroes who got this work done. And it's fitting that this museum, the largest of its kind in the United States, devoted to the arts and science and the artists of movie making, finds its home right here. The film industry and LA are synonymous. We are the epicenter, the chief cultural exporter in the world. And this Academy Museum will, from here to eternity, serve as that powerful symbol that LA is passionately invested in film. As we heard from Bill, the Academy, still a fledgling organization at the time, first aspired in 1929 to build this museum. But over the last 92 years, the Academy has amassed an unparalleled, some might say a titanic collection of artifacts from movies and movie makers. No other institution in any city of the world could have created a museum of this caliber. You see, part of our story is the evolution into an international cultural center. We're a city of ordinary people, creating extraordinary art, making movies as actors, directors, screenwriters, cinematographers, set designers, animators, sound engineers, and so much more. But this museum celebrates all of this work, and it opens it up to the world. And look around. This is more than an American beauty. It's an international landmark. Since The original 1939 May Company store, now reimagined as the Saban Building, has the same original architect, by the way, as Los Angeles City Hall, A.C. Martin, Sr. And now see how Renzo Piano's brilliant design juxtaposes the streamlined modern futurism of an earlier golden age with this, a new golden age, and a glass sphere that looks even farther forward. When I was up there on Saturday night, it was like a dreamscape over our city. And it's easy to imagine this site joining the Hollywood sign in the instant iconography of our city. The museum will be a beacon of inspiration to visitors from across our city as far away as Casablanca, and beyond, shining a light on a much-beloved art form. You've picked up on it. In that spirit, I'm happy to tell you that Los Angeles City Hall, not just Annie Hall, or any hall, will illuminate its facade in gold tonight, like a statuette of an Academy Award, echoing the 5-story golden cylinder that proclaims the Saban Building's presence at Wilshire and Fairfax, and those who've been lucky enough to hold a statuette. Also lit in gold tonight will be the Pacific Park, the Santa Monica Pier, Union Station downtown, the Grammy Museum, and the pylons at LAX. We're finally returning to a community life after such a long and painful and traumatic year. It feels like the perfect moment for Angelenos to come together safely to celebrate, to find our soul, to know who we are, and nothing reveals more about who we are than the arts, especially movies. So on behalf of the people of Los Angeles, I'm so thrilled to offer these terms of endearment. Welcome, Academy Award. Welcome, Academy Museum of Motion Pictures, to our city, only in LA. And congratulations to the Academy, to the staff. I want to thank my lawyer and my agent, everybody who played a long desired role in this project, bringing it to reality. And I know that this museum will inspire generations of Angelenos and movie lovers everywhere, because this is a place that honors and memorializes the greatest show on earth and the most notable achievements of filmmakers, a place where visitors can reconnect with the most unforgettable moments of our lives, where we met somebody we fell in love with, where we decided to do something different with our lives, where we saw ourselves and our possibilities on a screen. So before we leave here and walk out into La La Land, hold on a second. I mean to say, as we reflect this evening, maybe coming back here under the moonlight, I'll say this to the Academy and Museum Board, leadership and staff, and everyone gathered here today to celebrate this moment. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for this gift. Thank you for this gift. Felicidades, gracias a todos los miembros de la ciudad por esta visión, por este momento. Este es el corazón de la comunidad, de nuestra ciudad, y finalmente tenemos este regalo. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mayor Garcetti, for that beautiful speech. It only makes sense that Los Angeles is the home of the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. Thank you so much for being a part of this historic day. And thank you all again for being here. It's now my honor to introduce a great new friend of the project, District 4 City Council Member Nithya Raman.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? This is such a thrilling moment for me. What an honor to be here today. In this way, the opening of the Academy Museum really feels like a bit of a parallel to the dream that draws so many people to Los Angeles. If you can dream it, you can do it here. And this city will always welcome you with open arms. For all of the people involved with this project, they dreamt it, they believed in it, and they built it. So let's give them a big round of applause. And it is breathtaking. Both parts of this museum, the exhibit halls, cocooned within the shell of this beautiful older building, and this otherworldly orb that houses the theater, these are a monument to cinema that do their subject justice. As a council member who has the extraordinary privilege of representing this district, I'm truly amazed by what has been accomplished here by the Academy, its donors, its partners, both private and public. This is proof that we can still do big things in the city of Los Angeles. The importance of this project and this museum for District 4 and for all of Los Angeles is very clear to me. With the addition of the Academy Museum to vibrant cultural institutions that make up Museum Row, we now have a truly iconic cultural corridor here, one that is going to draw even more visitors from around the world, around the country. And once the Metro line is completed, this is going to anchor how we remake how Angelinos and visitors get around this city, get around urban space here in LA, and it is going to be incredible. It will be especially important to young people from all over Los Angeles who can now visit this museum for free and participate in all of its educational programming. They can learn about the kinds of work that are involved in making movies, and maybe they'll discover career paths that they never knew existed. And more than that, they'll learn about history, they'll learn about business, they'll learn about the interplay between movies and society, the endless new perspectives on life that movies can offer. This wonderful new museum is an artistic driver, it's a social driver, and because this matters to the future of the people of Los Angeles, and because we're coming out of this painful period, let's also celebrate the fact that it's going to be an extraordinary economic driver. The film industry and Los Angeles grew together. With the opening of this museum, that growth continues in the most beautiful way imaginable. I want to thank everyone who has made this possible, and it's my pleasure to introduce someone who has been leading the way. Please welcome the founding member of the Board of Trustees of the Academy Museum and its chair, Ted Sarandos.
Thank you so much, Nithya. By the way, my city council person. Thank you so much. I live just up the street. All right, let's hear it again for awesome. It's been my honor to work alongside of an incredible board of trustees and an incredible staff at here at the Academy Museum, including our vice chair, Mickey Lee, who's been so great to work with and so great in rounding up these industry leaders to get where we are today. While we were doing this, I often thought about myself as a young kid in Arizona, where I used to love to get lost in the movies. The Oscars was my World Cup, my Super Bowl. So I always kind of thought about this place. This is the stuff that dreams are made of, right? So I always thought about this mythical place that was as magical as the movies themselves, where I could come and see where all this magic came from. And I moved to Los Angeles only about 25 years ago. And I thought here, at last, I would find a place that would honor film and the art and the people who watch these films. And I got here, and I found out that it didn't exist. Somehow, in this center of film, there is no center of film. Well, now there is. So you can understand my excitement when the Academy and the Board of Governors decided to build this museum. And I wanted to be part of it. For the sake of that kid in Arizona that I used to be, and for the sake of millions of people everywhere who wanted to see the Dream Factory. What brings us together at this Academy Museum is a combination of wonder and curiosity. Wonder at the never-ending beauty and power of motion picture, and curiosity of how these moments came to exist. That's what's really great about being here. No one is going to tell you, like in The Wizard of Oz, to pay no attention to that guy behind the curtain. Because this museum is about the curtain. This museum is about everyone behind the curtain and everyone in front of the curtain. And now, remember, this world that's opened up to you is yours. Everyone who visits this museum, we encourage you to come and enjoy it. It's yours. Explore it, question it, and find your place in it. Welcome to the Academy.
Before I read from the teleprompter, I want to thank my husband, Peter, who is sitting in the audience. You have no idea what it was like to live with me for the past couple of years, so we all owe him a lot of love. Love you. I want to thank all of our speakers for honoring our museum with your gracious words. Thank you so much. And again, I extend my sincere appreciation to everyone here for celebrating with us. I'm thrilled to see our first queue of ticket buyers. The 10 a.m., the first official entry to the museum. Thank you, guys. Now it's my great honor to ask our speakers, my incredible colleagues, Brendan and Jacqueline, State Senator Ben Allen, State Assembly Member Richard Bloom, the Executive Director of the LA Department of Culture, Kristen Sakota, General Manager of the LA Department of Cultural Affairs, Danielle Brazel, to step forward and gather with me as we cut the ribbon to dedicate the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures.